Hi, so this is my video from last week. I think last week or this week, whatever it is, tennis edition. So we're closing in on the second week of this 1000 being Madrid. So again with Yannick Sinner is
to find out Duolingo or the other one is also Babbel, no? So let's see.
Bumble is a dating app.
No, it's
Or
not.
Bubble.
No, Babbel. Anyways, not a dating app. I don't need a dating app.
Okay, well done today. Thanks.
going to the round of 16. He's gonna play tomorrow. He overcame cramps in his first match. He lost the set in that one, and then yesterday's match was pretty straightforward. Not much to discuss for me personally. His first serve was pretty good there. Also in his first match, his first serve was really good. It's just they were like gung-ho in making it happen. So he's be facing Nori tomorrow. But anyway, enough about Yannick Sinner. I came here to talk about the other people. So Coco fought very hard yesterday to come through a stomach virus that's been going around in the village inside there, because also Iga retired in her match in the third set when she was broken almost twice. And said she couldn't do it anymore. And this is basically what her statement said there about the reason why she had to retire in that match. She was crying and she left. Okay, so Coco came through a lot. She threw up in the middle of the second set twice, and then she had a timeout and they gave her pills and I think something acidic to drink, so to bring down the acid reflux and to settle the stomach there. And she won eventually. The person that she was playing against, she beat before this year, so this is the second time they played this year, and she has beaten her twice now. She's a tendency to be a complainer, that woman. Yes, she's retiring, but she complains a lot. She was complaining in the first set about Coco and her team being encouraging her, like, come on, Coco, you got this. And she was like, it's so loud. Is this allowed to be coaching? And the Empire was like, no, it's not necessarily coaching. It's just encouragement. It's not coaching. I don't know why it's bothering you. And she's like, but can they do it across the court? Like when I'm here, I was like, can you really hear it though? Stop complaining. It's not they're not coaching her, they're just giving her encouragements and stuff. She was really down mentally, especially in the first set. They kept breaking each other. Also in the second set, I think she started to be more better mentally and physically, and after she threw up and after she had a little bit of a timeout and they gave her a pill and some acidic stuff to bring down her stomach.
I did start to feel better, not feeling like I had to throw up. They gave me some pills, so that definitely helped, but I was really tired.
Those women and them always digging and like exposing Coco's downfalls and like, hey, at least there's not downfalls. Hey, stick with her forehand. So yeah, she shut them down when she started to play well in the second half leading up to the third set. So yeah, that is Coco. I
think I got what everybody else is having here in Madrid, unfortunately. So just going to try to push through for it tomorrow.
Praying she doesn't retire. I'm praying that she does what she needs to do to be healthy enough, not 100% of course, but to be healthy enough to play additional match, because it's Iga's gone, so she needs to rank up them points to stay on third, So yeah, that's the Coco situation. Hoping she's doing well and she will. I'm just praying that she doesn't come out and say, hey, I'm retiring because I'm sick. Please don't do it. I need you, Cokes. You're one of the only few that I'm looking forward to in this tournament. And then we have Rybakina, who battled through her match, I think, yesterday. Did she win? I think she won. If not, I apologize, but I think she won. She won it in 3. She's been having a difficult time with the surface and the conditions in this tournament, like a lot of players are, especially the seeded players are. There's a lot of withdrawals with the virus and stuff like that. So yeah, she's been having a difficult time with all her, I think so far with all her matches, she's gone through 3 sets. So it is what it is. And then Fonseca played yesterday, finished the match this morning. I think it was due to rain delay, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. But I didn't watch the match because I was tired, but I did wake up at 12 and I saw they were going to the third set. Like I said, I still have to do a Fonseca video and I'm going to eventually, but like I said, I feel like Fonseca is not necessarily overhyped. I think he's been talked about a lot because he's playing a lot of top 20 players, so they assume and want to make him the next big thing right now because of how dominant Yannick and Alcaraz are on tour, and no one so far in the remainder of the top 10 has been really rallying behind them, so they're looking for the next best thing apart from those two. So I think they lynch and grab towards Fonseca because now Fonseca is relatively stalling so far right now. So because he's stalling, now they're trying to grab on Rafael Hodor right now because he has beaten Alex in his first round and now he's beaten Fonseca. So because now he has beaten those two people who are well known in the tennis world at the moment, who are in the top 20, top 30, all of a sudden now we're grabbing onto this young man and we're making him the next best thing, so we're making him loud. So now they're putting him in the category of, oh my gosh, the next Sin Cara, or oh my gosh, is he going to compete with the two? I'm like, forget about Arthur Fields, right? Who's right there? Who's playing relative? Who left for almost 6 to 8 months with a back injury last season? But look, he's won a 500 title already. He's made at least quarterfinals to semifinals in almost all the tournaments he has played. He has a very good win-lose percentage this year. Do they say Arthur Fields is coming? Arthur Fields might be the next? No, it's the white people. It's Rafael Nadal-ish, as name-ish man, tall, who they assume that whoa, you know. And like me personally, I don't mind these young men, the young men, to come and compete with Alcaraz and Sinner. I don't mind it, absolutely, because Abu Zverev, they're getting up there. Abu Medvedev, they're getting up there. Djokovic, the old man, is basically out the door at this point. We need the younger people. And what's really jarring for me is that Carlos and Yannick are basically the same, almost similar to the same age group as Abu Arthur, as Abu Fonseca, because they're not really that old. Alcaraz is 23, Yannick is 24, he is 19, Arthur is 23 or 22, Ben is 22, 23, so they're in the same age group brackets. They're not like these two are like, because they achieved so much already, these two, that it seems like they've been in the game longer and they're older, and no, they're still the same ages, 1, 2 year, 3 year apart. They're still the same. A lot of them debuted almost the same time as these two, maybe a year apart or 2 year apart or at the same time, but they were still in the main draw almost together. They were in the next gen together, but because they've accomplished so much already, they've surpassing about Zverev, who have 25, 26 titles. They're going to accumulate even more, and these guys who are still coming up slowly are made to seem less than, and that's not the case. They're still the same age bracket. I forgot which match I was watching, and one of the commentators was like, outside the top 10, from 11 to 100, the gap is so small, anyone can beat anyone on a good day. I was like, absolutely, but not really. I would say from 5 to 100 or from 6 to 100, anyone can beat anyone. Anyone can beat Zverev. Anyone can beat Djokovic if they want to. It's not just those two that can beat Djokovic. There are a few other players that have beaten Djokovic in the past 2 to 3 years, and they can do so. Just because now he's not competing for his title with Alcaraz doesn't mean that Yannick is gonna have a smooth sailing towards that title, which he will, by the way, anyway, or that Djokovic has now a much higher chance of getting the 25. No! He can be beaten by other players who are ranked 100 or 110 or 98 or 77 with Djokovic. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot think just because this guy now is stalling a little bit, let's go for him because he beat this guy who you think is uprising. that's not the case. Same thing as Leonard Tien. Leonard Tien had so much of this grandioso when he beat Medvedev in the Australian Open in 5 sets. Oh my gosh, Lena, even though Lena's echo is not as loud as Fonseca was or Mickelson's at the time, because he ain't he has stalled. Lena has stalled significantly now this season. Mickelson has stalled significantly now this season. Now Fonseca is slightly stalling now. No, because he's stalling. Let's go to Hodar, who just had 1 or 2 tournaments that were somewhat good. Now we're gonna prop him up and be like, oh my gosh, he's going to be competing with Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Really? I haven't watched the entirety of his matches of Hodar, and I can guarantee you, he's very much an imbalanced player. Like, if you make a return by his feet, he's off balance a lot of the time. He loves to play with his forehand, so he has more forehand unforced errors and more forehand winners. He plays a lot with his forehand. His backhand is great, but he prefers the forehand. So whoever plays him needs to play. And Fonseca in this match, from the highlights that I've shown, Fonseca loves playing the winner's game. Now, I remember when I was watching Rakina's match against her previous match, not yesterday's, but the previous match, where her coach was like, stop looking for winners. Extend the rally, get into it, then make your move. Don't always look for winners. That's what Fonseca is to me. He's a player who loves to play for winners. He doesn't extend the rally. This kid was cramping by the 3rd set. This wasn't even 2 hours in and he was cramping. He couldn't take advantage of that. All he wanted was the winners and the winners. That's how he lost 6-1 in the 3rd set, because he doesn't have the tennis brain of your opponent is cramping. He's on the verge of cramping, and it's not even 2 hours yet, and it's 12 o'clock in the morning. It's not sunny, it's not humid, it's fine, and he's cramping under 2 hours. Let me extend the rally. Let me do some slices. Let me do some jobs. No, he just goes for winners. He wants to go to the corners. He wants to go to the lines. That's how you lost, because you're frustrated. You're not handling your emotions right. And you playing on his terms, because he's also playing like you. He's playing for winners. He's playing for shot forehands instead of extending the rally, making him run, making him slide. He didn't do that. He got frustrated. He broke his racket. We expect you expect to extend rallies. Fonseca also gets tired by 2.5 hours. That's why if he goes through and goes to the quarterfinals and he plays Yannick Sinner will not necessarily outplay him, but will in a way outperform him in terms of experience and stamina. Someone also commented to me on saying, Guti, Ava Djokovic nowadays have the experience and of longer matches, like Alcaraz and Sinner have an experience of longer matches, like 2 hours, 3 hours. Sometimes they'll let them win the first set. I'm like, okay, win the first set. Once I win the second set, I'm done. You know what I mean? That's how I feel like Yannick Sinner also plays nowadays. He plays like that. He lets you win the first set, not lets you, but because you're coming with the oomph. When you're oomping up, he reads your game. He comes in mentally. He comes down mentally, and you read how you play, and then boom. So if he cramped before 2 hours, that's a problem. He couldn't see that. He couldn't read that Fonseca to be like, okay, let me extend the rallies. Why didn't his bench be like, okay, he's cramping, extend the rallies. Don't go for shot. No. Because he's stalling now. They now maneuvering to him, and he's also home. He's home Hodar, so that's extra pressure and extra motivation for him to go full balls to the wall. Just like how Rigonac had with Monte Carlo, balls to the wall, because you're playing at home. Then after the home tournament, you move first round. That's all I'm saying. I can rant about these young men so much. I'm not saying they shouldn't compete with these two. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Jannik should win every single tournament that he's in this year. I'm not saying that. But he's getting that Grand Slam, this France Grand Slam. But I'm not saying that he's going to win this one. I'm not saying he's going to win the Italian Open. I'm not saying those two. But all I'm saying, let's not hype up these 19, 20-year-olds so much that they fall into the trap of about Rune, where Rune beats Djokovic in 2022. Oh my gosh, the next big thing. Where is he now? 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 Oh, Ben. Oh my gosh, Ben. Ben can't even beat an average top 10 player, let alone a top. He got beaten. There's so much news that I can talk about tennis this week. But I'm not going to. It's like 15 minutes video it's long already. I've been ranting about this match already. But yeah, Jannik Sinner is playing Cam Norrie, and then he might meet Hodar. But I think Jannik Sinner is going to expose a lot of Hodar's weaknesses. I think a lot of, I'm gonna mention this one more time. I'm gonna say this one more time. Is that a lot of players like Papa Fonseca, the younger guys, not the younger guys, but the younger guys who are coming up now, who are getting recognition because of 1 or 2 tournaments they are playing so well, is that when they play a good top 10, good quality top 10 player, they get exposed a lot about they need to improve, and they lack off a lot of things. Because Mina, I am going to say this now. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to say this now. When he plays, or if he plays Jannik Sinner in the quarterfinals or Hodar, we're going to see a lot of his weaknesses. A lot of them. We cannot compare Jannik Sinner to Alex de Minaur. We're going to see his weaknesses a lot. He's going to expose them. These players, when they come against Zverev, when they come against Sinner, we get to see the weaknesses they had. This guy, they played Jannik Sinner yesterday. Yo, his forehand is terrible. Terrible. Not terrible, but he's... Yo. Anyway, let me stop talking. Thank you so much for watching. I can rant about this the whole day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Jannik. Coco, please.